Is there any scenario in which the 49ers do not draft a quarterback in round 1 next year? Jack, why don't you start this time?
Well, I think it's really highly likely, especially depending on where they end up. If they're outside of the top 15, all the top guys are probably going to be gone at that point. So with all their needs, the 49ers going into this offseason, they're going to have a lot of needs. Quarterback is really, I know quarterback's extremely important in the NFL, but when you look at what the 49ers are going to need going into this offseason, I think they need to be looking elsewhere, because I think they can make do with a couple of one guy that they have on the roster currently and some of the free agents that are out there.
Yeah, I definitely could see a situation where they don't go quarterback, because I think unless there's a guy at quarterback that they hands down want, I don't really want to settle with whoever is the top guy available at 15 or wherever they end up. If there is the Zach Wilson falls further than they thought, Justin Fields, Trey Lance falls further than they thought, I definitely can see that scenario where they move up 4 spots to go grab them. But if they stick where they are, I think cornerback, offensive line, they love defensive ends, edge rushers in the first round. So who knows what they do? But I think there's a lot of talent, and they got to go best available if that quarterback they love isn't there.
Yeah, I think the scenario where they don't take a quarterback is the scenario where they win a couple more games and finish with like the 15th pick or something like that. Because the way I look at it, the first 2 picks are quarterbacks, and then Carolina is going to be around the 7th pick. They're going to take a quarterback. That's 3 in the top 7. And then Atlanta after them could take a quarterback. There's a high likelihood that 4 guys go in the top 10, I think. And if the Niners find themselves at 12, do you just take a guy at 12 because you need a quarterback? What if he's not worth the 12th pick in the draft? What if there's an offensive lineman who could replace Mike McFloppy at right tackle, or Colton McFlops-a-lot at right guard? Maybe you could get someone better there and actually give Nick Mullins a real chance to succeed, or Jimmy Garoppolo, or whoever. Mitchell Trubisky, Ryan Fitzpatrick, doesn't freaking matter. The Niners have a really good team. They just have a really awful offensive line that got Jimmy Garoppolo hurt. Who knows what's going to happen the next 4 games of the career? I worry for Nick Mullins. So yeah, I think you could argue that what's the use in bringing in Mac Jones or Kyle Trask, 2 guys who aren't any more mobile than the guys the Niners already have, don't know the system, can't play right away. How does that help? Maybe you're best off building up the offensive line and taking a quarterback next year. Of course, if Trey Lance falls, go for it. If you think you can turn him into Steve Young, go for it. But there's no way Kyle Trask is going to be Steve Young. There's no way. So he might be Peyton Manning, but probably not.
Yeah, so there's definitely some things that they're going to need to do there. We'll know more once the free agency period hits. By the time draft comes around, we're going to know a little bit of the direction they're going there, I think.
I'm sorry to bring up these questions in December. It's just that Niner fans get really down after a loss and want to think about 4 months ahead, even though they're not mathematically eliminated. I think they're a little spoiled from last season. Last season was easy. So now it's like, well, you know what? What?
They're all the questions that are on everybody's mind. That's
exactly.
It's
fair enough.
It's important to talk about them.